And welcome here to CRN. Another night of racing with the pit road speed limit racing at the Nashville Superspeedway. Going to be out here for a few laps and kind of get things done here. Obviously, we've got 18 drivers out here tonight. You know, they call us a super speedway, but you're going to kind of see on there track length only 1.3 miles. So a little bit shorter than something like Daytona or Talladega. So kind of a mid track here, but nice banking, nice wide open racing. The only difference here between these tracks and those, tire wear. Big time tire wear here at the 1.3 mile, and you can't stay full throttle all the way around for your entire time. So there'll be some tire saving, there'll be some fuel saving. We're going to see what these drivers could do here tonight. Go ahead and drop down the track map here. You can see it's nighttime out as we're up here in the Goodyear blimp. It's 68 degrees outside, track temperature being at 70. So that should help with that tire wear here tonight, but also produce some loose race cars. And we're going to see if those drivers can handle that here tonight. I am Jimmy Covert up here in the booth, and we'll be joined here shortly by my co-host, Carl Hanwork, as he's finishing up a race over in Virginia. It'll be a quick hop and a jump here to meet us over here in Nashville. But go ahead and, like I said, we'll drop this here, and I'll just kind of bring up the timing towers. There's still some time for qualifying. They do run a 10-minute session here for qualifying, so drivers can actually get out there. They can get their pit laps in, and they can stay out on the track for a few more laps, get a few more qualifying laps in right now. But it looks like Thomas O'Connor coming in at the last moment here. 17 of the 18 drivers with times in right now, and O'Connor bringing in a time of 29.817. So putting down a burner here tonight, taking provisional polls. We still have 5.5 minutes remaining. Charlie Stafford's going to be currently sitting second. And then Ron Millen's back there. Millam is back there in third. Dylan Jacobs, Kyle Emerson, Matthew Hake, Richard Covington, Tiffany Ellis out there, and P number 8, Dylan Emerson in ninth, TJ Hanley in 10th. Cody Brewer, Kelly Akron, Kent Bice, Cody Handler, Bruce Spencer, Alec Luano, Anthony Emerson, and William O'Connor. So qualifying is coming down to an end as the stewards have said that's enough time for everybody. We're going to get this thing rolling. So that is going to be the rundown here. I'll go ahead and drop that overlay so you guys can get a clean look at the grid. And again, here's the grid. Thomas O'Connor on the pole with Charlie Stafford on that front row. Ron Millam, Dylan Jacobs, second row. Kyle Emerson, Matthew Hake, row number 3. Richard Covington, Tiffany Ellison, row number 4. Dylan Emerson and TJ Hanley there in row number 5 with Cody Brewer and Kelly Akron making up row number 6. Back there in row number 7 is going to be Kent Bice with Cody Handler, and then Bruce Spencer with Alec Lomano. Row number 9 is going to be Anthony Emerson with William O'Connor. And then that is your 18-car field. Just want to welcome everybody to the chat here at CRN. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for tonight as we get things started here at Nashville. All right, folks. Gotta talk to my wife a second. But drivers are getting ready to take the field here. Get up everything. Empty this out. So that's... All right. Get down to the track. There we go. Underneath the lights here tonight, some of the paint's looking nice and sparkly. Make sure I'm live here. Everybody's quiet tonight. Everybody's still over watching the other race over there at CSRL. Definitely a fun-filled night of racing here on CRN. Coming here for round number 2, basically, with the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. Running some of my favorite cars here, the Gen 6 cars. Thomas O'Connor getting ready to take them to the green flag coming down here. Pace car is in. Nice longer runway down here to the front. Green flag is down. Looks like everybody gets a pretty decent start. 18 getting a nice jump start there to lead this thing off, heading down to turn number 1. Ron Millen down to the inside, looking to take P number 3. Keeps that position, but that 5 looking to dig hard. Yeah, and it's great. It's Tony the Tiger going through the pink car off at the back there. I think that's Dylan Emerson down through the grass on the number 6. Keeps it going forward. No caution. Better safe than sorry as the 6 able to kind of get it back up on the track and not too far behind as everybody's just winding up here tonight. The battle is for P number 2 between Dylan Jacobs and Charlie Stafford. 28 of Charlie Stafford on that outside, looking to use the high side here tonight at Nashville. It can work, it does work, will work, and just got to keep to it here. But the 5 of Dylan Jacobs moving up here early, up 2 spots in a P number 2. Kyle Emerson back there in P number 4, looking on as this battle continues here for that 3rd position. But we're going to go back a little bit farther in the field, back with Cody Brewer, up 3 spots down on that inside, getting down to the inside of number 88 of Tiffany Ellis as she runs that little bit higher side here in that 88 Napa car. TJ Hanley back there in number 27 started in 10th, and in 10th of that beautiful TBH paint scheme that he ran last week. Kent Bice back there in P number 11. He's up 2 spots. Anthony Emerson up 4 spots in P13. So taking advantage of some drivers maybe having some early incidents, we'll call them. Dylan Emerson back there down 7 spots, but I'm sure we'll see that number 6 come back up through the field. Not too bad after coming down on the grass. Back up in the P15. So we'll go back up front here. Thomas O'Connor trying to run away with this thing. He's out to almost a 1-second lead over Dylan Jacobs, and Dylan wants to catch back up to that number 18 here. We're on lap number 5 of 80. These laps are going to go by here quick tonight as we got an incident. We got should have a yellow flag. Get yellow flag here as it looks like Kent Bice and Rob Millum getting to it back here. Check these fellas out back here. See what happened. Oh, this happened in front of them. This is Kent. You can see up in front. 2 drivers getting into the wall up there. It's the 16 and the 60, which would be Alec and like Lueno. No. Kyle. Oh, there's some records there at the end. I thought I seen Tiffany go around. Tiffany getting involved as well as the 54 of Kent. So first caution flies here at Nashville Superspeedway as that would happen on lap number 5. So everybody kind of grouping back up here behind the pace car. Who's going to come in? Who's going to take down to the track there? Look like we have one taker. TJ Hanley, number 27, says, "I'll take this." Again, just want to give a shout out to the individuals out there watching, as we got about 14 people out there watching right now. Welcome to here to CRN. I'm Jimmy Covert and be joined here shortly by Carl Hanwork. We're with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. We're going to be here for 80 laps. We're 7 in just got wrapped up here with a caution, wrapped up with a few individual drivers. You can see them. I'll pull them up here on the tower. You can see where they are at. You got a few drivers in the pits. Looks like Emerson is going to be coming out as well. But TJ Hanley taking full advantage of the pit lane time and getting some extra fuel. But Millam, Akron, Ellis all in the pits. It looks like William O'Connor out for the night here as our 18th car did not take the track. So we hope to see Willem out there. I'm not sure if William O'Connor is maybe race control. I'm not quite sure on that one. See here, what do we got for some information? I can give you guys why they're pacing around here tonight. Should be I think there is a points race. There's standing, there they are, standings. One of these updated 13th. So it does look like leader of the points right now is Dylan Emerson with 283 over Dylan Jacobs. Matthew Hake with 249. So second and third only separated by 1 point. And then Thomas O'Connor with a 248. So the top four, or second, third, and fourth in the points only separated by 2 points. And then Jared Doan's back there and with 245. Kyle Emerson with 234. Tiffany Ellis sitting in seventh with 211 points. And then TJ Hanley with 197. Cody Handler with 196. Anthony Emerson's got 184 in 10th. Bruce Spencer with 177 in 11th. And then Richard Covington, William O'Connor, Wes Pauley, Kent Bice, and Ron Millam and Alec Bueno round out the 17 drivers. I think you have another sheet. Jesse Cottrell, Josh Duncan, Joe Francis, Charlie Stafford, Tyler Welch, Caden Watts, Cody Brewer, Kelly Akron, Dennis Orff, Richard Lakawa, Brandon Smith, Daniel Lampier, Zach White, David Sharon, Colbert, Mason Wagner, Alex Morales, Dylan Large, Anthony Engelhard, Mason Mueller, Chris Webb, and David Sharon. So 39 drivers actually got hit the results here in this league so far. I know we kind of came in a little bit late during the season, but it's good to see who's out there. We still got Nashville tonight, but then next week we head over to Bristol, and then off to Michigan for one of me and Carl's favorite tracks. Anybody who's been here at CRN and has come over to see Michigan, it just always puts on a great race. But it does look like something happened there with Alec Valeno. We'll go back and see what happened. It looks like maybe a self-spin out of the way. No traffic. Oh, just kind of gets sideways all by himself on that wall there. Backs it up, gets it going. No caution here. Just going to put Alec back just a little bit let me pull up the track map so you can see where he's at. Everybody wants to see where the Skittles are at. There we go. You can see the number 16 back there, about half a track, and could be in danger of going a lap down here early, but because Thomas O'Connor on a roll here tonight, looking to maybe lead this thing from the beginning to the end. Currently still out front over to number 5 of Dylan Jacobs, up 2 spots, and then Richard Covington in 3rd. Matthew Hake back there in 4th with Cody Brewer there in 5th, and Cody Handler up 8 spots tonight. So biggest mover so far here tonight early on, as we're on lap 12. And it's Kent Bice, Charlie Stafford, Dylan Emerson, and Kyle Emerson for your top 10. Oh, I see more smoke. And yellow flag is out as Kelly Akron, and it looks like Bruce Spencer may be getting into it. I'll go back and try to catch that action. See the 19 there holding the line. 13 going down on the apron, coming up and tagging that left rear bumper, sending Kelly around, doing a 360 right there in front of the 88 of Tiffany Ellis. Gets involved again. So Tiffany not catching on a break there. You can see Tiffany Ellis getting into the 43. 91 goes for a ride as well. So a few more drivers going on the track. The race looks like it's going backwards here tonight as they're both heading in the wrong direction. Tiffany gets that car spun around, though, and the 43, I believe, is good to go as well. But it does look like a little more action down in pit lane here. You can see the tower lighting up with pit lane, meaning everybody coming down in. Jacobs, Hake, Emerson, Millam, Brewer, Ellis, Handler, Emerson, Akron, and Spencer all down the pits. Just want to thank Barry out there, giving Barry a shout out for rooting on all these drivers. Barry is CRN faithful here. Shows up to every single race and supports not only CRN but all the drivers. Usually out there and he tries to pick a winner. So who do you got for us tonight there, Barry? I also want to give a shout out to TDM for sponsoring this series here. That helps make things a little bit easier and possible to get things done to run these races here for the league. Takes a lot of hard work and effort, some time, and obviously a little bit of money to make things happen here. Whether it's covering broadcasting fees, covering track fees, getting a little prize pool together. So you get something to race for, and it's always a little fun. It's a great hobby, and it's a common thing that a lot of drivers can kind of get together and do on at least one day a week or one night a week. It does look like my co-host Carl Hanwork has made it from the other track, probably just gathering his belongings off the plane before he hops up here in the booth.
Yep, yeah, all good to go here as coming over from VIR from the CSRL GT3 race. Good one over there. And if you like some good GT3 racing, that was a pretty good run over there. The top three really putting on a good battle. But now we're here at Nashville and completely different. We leave the asphalt, we head to the concrete, and it's such a unique track here at Nashville Superspeedway. I mean, heck, both these tracks in Nashville, both the Superspeedway and the Fairgrounds are unique. But the Superspeedway here, nothing super about it. I mean, I don't know why they call it a super speedway. It's a speedway. I'll give it a speedway, but it's definitely not a super speedway. But it is it's fast and it can grind up some tires on this concrete. Getting ready to go back green here as pace car gonna be off, and we'll get set to head it back to green. Thomas O'Connor on the front row with Richard Covington Jr. heading back to the restart zone, and we are racing again here at Nashville. Kent Bice, Charlie Stafford, Kyle Emerson for your top five. Some good looking paint schemes out here, and I always love me a night race and seeing these paint schemes really shine, seeing the spec maps out there, seeing what these drivers do on their free time, or even the money that they pay to have others do it for them. The paint scheme is really shining out here tonight.
Yeah, definitely interesting here. I need to step away a quick second, and I'll be right back as they continue to run here. But Thomas O'Connor out front as he continues to lead here tonight, and then it looks like Richard Covington Jr. Making moves here tonight, trying to maybe spoil the burden or spoil the run there of Thomas.
Yeah, right now O'Connor leading the way, and definitely a little bit better line that time as we got a couple cars into the wall. Looks like Covington Jr. and I believe that was Kyle Emerson both getting into the wall a bit out of turn number 2. Concrete kind of paying them back here a little bit, but it's going to give Thomas O'Connor about an 0.8 of a second lead. Another bump, and that could end up being another caution here. Back in the pack. Looked like Dylan Jacobs, I believe it was. Not Dylan Jacobs, still up there. Let's see who that might have been. It was a Kent Bice. And that will end up bringing out a caution. If when we get a chance, we'll take a look back and see what happened. It looked like Kent Bice getting all kinds of squirrely off the corner, end up getting a meatball as well. So going to have to come in for mandatory repairs for the 43. And I think I just heard him kind of limping through there, trying to get it back to pit lane. But another caution here for this 80-lap race, as you see right there. Looks like we're not even able to turn that car right now. That is, I believe that's not the 54. I believe that is Cody Handler, also involved in this incident. One thing we won't have tonight is we won't have another win by Joe Francis, as he won the last two at Talladega and at Charlotte. But we won't have a three-peat here for Joe Francis. But he is tied for the most wins on the series with Jared Duan. Actually, I apologize. Jared Duan actually has 3 wins on the season with Vegas, Vegas, Martinsville, and Kansas. Dylan Emerson grabbing the win to start off the season. TJ Handley grabbing 2 wins, and then Dylan Jacobs grabbing his lone win at Darlington. But Thomas O'Connor leading the way here. Richard Covington up there. Cody Brewer, Dylan Jacobs, Alec Luno for your top 5. As looks like wave around gonna go to Cody Handler to get himself back on this lead lap. We'll have back to 10 on the lead lap. We got a chance to take a look at the standings coming into tonight, and it is Dylan Emerson leading by 33 points over Dylan Jacobs, Matthew Hake, Thomas O'Connor, and Jared Duan for your top 5. Kyle Emerson, Tiffany Ellis, TJ Hanley, Cody Handler, and Anthony Emerson for your top 10. But really kind of a one-man breakaway at the front with Dylan Emerson, the driver of the 6, out there to a 33-point lead, and that's only 1 point back from Jacobs to Hake, only 1 more point back to Thomas O'Connor, 3 points back to Jared Duan, and then another 9 points back to Kyle Emerson. So Dylan Emerson out front by a good margin, but then 2nd through 6th, very, very, very close, only 16 points separating 2nd through 6th. So one bobble, one mistake, or one good race can vault you up or down through those standings. But pace car lights are out. We're going to get this thing back to green as we got 20 laps completed here. And actually on lap number 20 right now, it is Thomas O'Connor out front, Richard Covington, Cody Brewer, Dylan Jacobs, Alec Luno for your top 5.
Yeah, busy running around here. Household never stops. Sorry about that, folks. Had to step away for a quick second. But yeah, it does look like a Thomas O'Connor there. So Carl was covering everything. Looking back, see what happened. Yellow flag? Who was that? What happened there? Who lost it? Carl, was it looked like Kent?
Kent Bice. Kent Bice, I believe, might have got tagged as well. But we're gonna get this thing back underway here. We'll take a look back. Maybe if we get a later caution, we'll try and pop in there and see what happened there. But it looked like the 54 just getting really wicked loose off of the corner and down the front stretch. But green flag back in the hands of Barney, and he is waving it as we are back to racing here at the concrete tri-oval of Nashville. Good restart here for Thomas O'Connor. Richard Covington Jr. getting down in there in 2nd. Side-by-side battle between Jacobs and Brewer for 3rd place.
A few drivers really, obviously trying to take that opportunity and go towards the back here. A few drivers deciding to do some lawn maintenance down the back stretch, but keeping it out of the way of the race line and back, to get things going here. Just losing some time as they're just going to be a little bit off pace now. So number 91 and 43 kind of getting together there. Here's everybody's trying to get to the front, Carl. We're only on lap 23 of 80.
Yeah, but it goes by pretty quickly here once you get back to green. I mean, these laps only a half a minute long, but we got another incident here. Looks like Ken Bice just out of the pits and maybe back into another incident. So we'll take a look at what happened on this one, and then we can take some time to take a look back at what happened on the last one. It looks like he's already mowing through the grass here, and then we'll see what started him going off to the grass. It looked like there was a couple drivers that were loose, but this was just the 54 losing it after he finally towed it back to pit lane, coming out onto the track, and the car was just not having it on those cold tires.
No, it's one thing about these cars. They don't like cold tires. Actually, a lot of tracks, the cars don't like it. You can hear them accelerate and then just just does not like it. Get on the brakes there, and obviously you're down through the grass, gonna go for a ride. Was down off the racing line, so I'm really surprised Iracing brought out the caution here. But that was that incident, and I'll see if I can. Oh, that's what happened. He tried to get back on it. I'm cold. And then one earlier I was kind of gone for. It does look like it was one Keist. Oh, here it is.
I think it was a 13 might have started it, because I think it was a black car that I seen in the distance.
Yeah.
Really, really wobbly right there, and maybe he just didn't realize the 54 was up there, but he found him eventually, and unfortunately brought out a caution.
A tough break for the 54, getting involved with a few incidents here early. But we're on lap 25 of 80, so we still got 56 laps remaining here tonight as Thomas O'Connor leads this field around Richard Covington there in P number 2, and Alex up to P number 6. So that's our biggest mover there is the number 16.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. As with this is it's a funky little track here, and I mean we talk about cold tires almost on a weekly basis and how tough it is to get them warmed up. To me, on these concrete tracks, it seems like you can warm them up, but you're bouncing around so much sometimes on these tracks that sometimes you don't really know which tires are actually, warming up at the right time. And then sometimes you can wear out that right rear that all of a sudden you think your tires are warm, you go to get on the gas, and it's going to loop around on you.
Yeah, it seems to be real easy here, especially when it's cooler out. It takes those few more laps, and they really haven't gotten the opportunity to really get in a groove here tonight. Obviously, this being, I think their fourth caution in so far. So 4 divided by 26, you're only looking a little over like 6 laps or so to, that they're getting green. Doesn't give a whole lot of time for tires to kind of get warmed up and ready to go here, with the track being as cool as it is. Because if I go ahead and bring up the weather again, it was a cool one here tonight, as it's only 67 degrees outside and track down at 70. So it's going to take probably around 4 laps or so just for them tires to warm up, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes a while, and meanwhile you're trying to deal with dirty air from cars in front of you. You're trying to worry about anybody else, getting close behind you. And again, I point out that these rear bumpers are not meant for bumping at all. They take one little shot, you're most likely going to get hooked a little bit, because they are nice and rounded here, and it's not kosher for somebody bumping you behind. But we're about to get this thing back underway. Hopefully get a little green flag running here as Thomas O'Connor brings them back to that green flag, and we are racing again here at Nashville.
Yeah, back to green here at Nashville, and like Carl said, these laps will go right on by before you know it, and it's probably why you kind of see the intensity of these drivers, and you can see somebody else going down in the grass there. That's going to be Alec is down there. So the Alec just not having fun here tonight at Super Speedway, really finding out that a little too much throttle will send him down to the infield. But caution flies again here on lap number 28. And I can only think of the number 16 back here, kind of trying to get things done. And again, down there. Oh man. Oh my goodness. And it was right in front of somebody.
I think you pound a patch of fescue there. That thing just snapped right to the right, and you see all the dirt that he brought up on the track as well. It's one thing that we talk about here and there on like GT broadcasts with the somebody going off track and maybe grabbing some marbles, or somebody going through the kitty litter, bringing it back on track, or even some dirt. You don't really talk about it that much on the oval side of it, but you did see he brought a little bit of dirt from the little expedition through the grass, and you wonder if that plays a part at all when they get back going here, because it's not like they have virtual track cleaners come by under these cautions. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with the I know on the road races, they got a new flag out. It's white or yellow and red for debris on the track. So and it can make a difference. not like they cover in Bristol with dirt difference, but I mean it can make a little difference if you hit the wrong patch. And next thing you know, you lose a little bit of grip. So I don't know how much it is. It is a neat effect on the track and visual kind of representation of people just kind of getting off the track and bringing stuff up onto it to just kind of give you that those visual cues, I guess, to kind of just give you that little bit of immersion, just kind of like the smoke and stuff like that. Really doesn't do anything to you. I mean, it's not super thick where you can't see through it. So, but either way, we're at lap 29. We'll be crossing this time by, and we'll make it lap number 30. We got 51 laps remaining. Obviously, a couple of caution flags early on here, and hopefully we'll get them settled down and get this thing finished out here tonight.
Yeah, this is just a finicky little track. I mean, we've seen another one earlier on this week with New Hampshire being a flat track, and it's tough to get on the gas. It can kind of be similar here at Nashville, especially on early cold tires and in the cold environment that they're in right now. Getting on that gas coming out of turn number 2, it seems has been a bit of an issue here tonight, and it's the traction on concrete tracks is not great to begin with. You mix that with cold temperatures, you mix that with cold tires, and it's not a good formula when it comes out to it, and you got to really be ready for it. And you can save these next gen cars; they are savable, but you got to be ready for it immediately. You got to be ready to to either crank that wheel with the slide or against the slide. And it's one thing that's kind of an art form that I've found between different styles of vehicles. Some they like to be counter steered to work their way out of an oversteer. And other cars prefer to crank the wheel with the slide. If you're sliding and your back end is sliding out to the right, they like to be turned to the left and basically kind of push those front tires back up, just like the rear ones are sliding, so you can kind of level that car out. But you have to learn from your mistakes, but you have to make those mistakes to find out. And I think some of these drivers just making some mistakes here. Hopefully they learn from them. We'll get this thing back under green here as the pace car is back into the pits. And Thomas O'Connor is back on the loud pedal.
But a check up there. See the 13 got into, I believe that was the 19, just a little bit of Kelly Akin. But able to keep the vehicle straight here on this restart here on lap 31. And somebody's going around.
Yep, and again out of turn number 2, and again I believe this is it's 43 there of Bruce Spencer on this one, and it sounds like there's another one going through the grass if I'm not mistaken. I think Anthony Emerson had a bit of an expedition as well, but you see right there, both of them, 42 and 43, just not able to keep that car underneath them coming out of the corner.
Yeah, and it's just obviously the cool track, cold tires, and just a lot of power in these cars. It's a lot to handle, and it's once you get them tires spinning and getting them hot and greasy, there's like no grip to them at all. So you just find yourself kind of going around, and when you lock them up here, you're just trying to limit the car from heading in a direction or on the wall the best you can, and it's. Picture driving in the snow or a wet road. These cars, once you kind of lose control, there's really nothing you can do except hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned they are savable, but again, you have to be ready for it immediately. It's not something where all of a sudden you hear the tires screech, and at that point, it's already gone. It's already, you got to lock it up, and hopefully nobody tags you. And it's one thing for the field there in the back. They were able to make it through there. No damage to the 42 or 43 that we noticed. And looks like we got the wave around at this time going to the 42. Is that correct?
TJ.
Oh, it is 27. Okay. I just wasn't showing up correctly on mine yet. So the 27 of TJ Handley getting back on the lead lap. So we'll be back to 16 cars on the lead lap. Kent Bice still back there as well. A few laps down at this point. So it looks like I think 3 or 4 laps down for the 54. But Thomas O'Connor is still out front, and so far We've had quite a bit of running here. I mean, granted, it was under yellow, but you wonder if and when these drivers at the front are going to give up track position to come down in the pits. I would think they kind of want to stretch this thing out at this point, and they don't want to get back there in the battlefield and maybe got caught up in one of these.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting on, they haven't been in yet. You got cars that have been in on lap 13. You just have a few that just came in on 19, and now a few that have come in, 28 in lap 32. And I'll go ahead and put the do this for everybody. Put the gap on first here, so you can kind of see everybody at. So 16 drivers on the lead lap, only Bice being 4 laps down, and number 54 just having a rough time there, catching a break and holding onto that car as well. So Thomas O'Connor trying to, like I said, lead from the beginning to the end here. And I would imagine if they get to that halfway point, if the fuel's starting to become close, he'll be thinking about coming down to probably replace tires as well. If you can make it halfway, Carl, I mean, then you could probably make it the rest of the way. So we'll see what those top drivers here tonight at the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing decide to do.
Yeah, hopefully we can get to the backstretch. Maybe that's. I know we talked about 4 laps to get these tires warmed up. Let's just get to the backstretch at this point, and see if they can get them warmed up for a lap, let alone 4. But either way, it's back in control here by Thomas O'Connor. He's going to bring it back to the Geico restart zone. We'll get this thing back underway as green flag is flying here once again, and we are racing at Nashville Superspeedway. Good restart at the front here again for O'Connor. He's going to dive it off and a turn number 1 side by side for second between Dylan Jacobs and Richard Covington Jr.
Just see everybody here in front of TJ Hanley at 27, kind of spreading out.
Jacobs from second place down into the grass. Gonna stay green. Hopefully he gets it back up on the track. Okay. He got it back up on the track, and it's like caution's not gonna fly here. We're gonna keep this thing going, but he was in second place when you see right there. Not sure if he got some help or not.
See what happened to that. If he just come jetting out of there. Watch this.
You see already loose coming off of the corner. And then he gassed it up a little bit to try and keep it off the wall. And shot straight across in front of the 21 of Richard Covington Jr. and down in the grass for a little maintenance.
Yeah, didn't catch anybody. Goes down for a ride in the grass. Heads down there. A little bit of concrete there. Wall's looking like it's going to be a savior. Does slow the 5 down just a little bit, and I'll go ahead and speed this up now since he's already hit, but comes back up on the track. Rear end just comes around. Boom. But we're still green here, Carl.
Yeah, it seems like the going through the grass is okay, but as soon as you get close to turning it back up on the track, I don't know if it's just slick right there. These drivers are having a hard time. It's saving it down there on the grass. They're able to do that, but it's bringing it back up on the track that they're having some issues. But right now, Thomas O'Connor, no issues out front. He is leading the way. Richard Covington Jr. sneaking by that incident there. He's in second. Then Dylan Emerson, Tiffany Ellis, Cody Handler for your top 5. Cody Brewer, Matthew Hake, Alec Luno, Kyle Emerson, and Charlie Stafford for the top 10.
Yeah, closing in on the halfway mark here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. Posing to be a challenge for some drivers. Obviously, that power to weight ratio, being able to modulate that throttle off the corners and keep it together here has been the big story here as we reach the halfway mark, or just about to reach the halfway mark. But also Thomas O'Connor leading from the beginning here in the 18 that had the pole. Has been out front all race through the obviously through the cautions or whatever, but now getting a challenge from Richard Covington.
And you can see how much better the cars seem to stick through the corners. They say that, knocking on wood. Once they had those couple laps, just warm up those tires. It seems like there's not the car just snapping loose out of the corners. It's cold tires are real, and they are real tough to bring in sometimes. But looks like the drivers may have them, knock on wood, under control here as we got a good battle here for the lead. Thomas O'Connor still hanging on the outside. Covington Jr. trying to get in there. Looks like Alec Luno having an issue, but he towed back to pit lane. So I'm not sure if he crashed off the track or not. We'll take a look at the 16 here and see what happened. As the 54 got awfully close to him as well, but looks like the 16 just pulling off the track. Not sure what happened. Maybe an emergency in real life here, or maybe running out of fuel. I mean, these drivers have been out there for a while, and yes, speak of the devil, Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington Jr., top 2 spots now in pit lane.
Yeah, so drivers coming down that need fuel, and doing it under green could be costly, but hopefully, the others do need some fuel to make it the remainder of the way. They were able to come out here on lap 42, Carl, and that was with quite a bit of cautions. So, unless the second half is kind of littered with cautions like the first half was, these drivers are going to have to stop again.
Yeah, I would think so, at least for a little splash and dash at the end of this thing. But it's you can see how much they're going to be going down here. I mean, this is a sketchy moment right now for Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington. Those guys have been dominating this race here so far. If a caution were to come out with some more pit stops coming through the order here, they could be stuck a lap. I believe it's just one lap, but they're still quite a ways back here. If the caution comes out, yeah, they can get the wave around. They can get back on the lead lap, as it looks like Ron Millam off the track. We're going to stay green, though, as he's back now on the track. I mean, this could be something that really shakes up the order.
Yeah, let's take a look here at Ron here, and then you got number 91 as they work their way past the front stretch. Again, coming out of turn number 4, just down in the grass.
Yeah, these drivers having some issues picking up the throttle out of these corners. You have to be a little tentative. You got it back on the track, and certainly a lot safer than some of the others that we've seen here tonight. But these drivers certainly dealing with some throttle issues here tonight on this cold track with cold tires. And it's, with these drivers all needing to come in for at least one more pit stop, they're going to be probably coming out with some brand new tires, and that means more cold tires to bring up the temperature. So, we could potentially see some more things kind of get mixed up here. But right now it is Dylan Emerson leading the way. Cody Brewer, Tiffany Ellis, Matthew Hake, Cody Handler for the top 5, TJ Handley, Kyle Emerson, Charlie Stafford, Anthony Emerson, and Bruce Spencer for the top 10.
Well, at least they got their, looks like they have gotten things together a little bit better here. They're on a nice little run here, as obviously had to make some pit stops. Not quite a full green flag pit stop like have done here in the past, but just kind of seeing where everybody is sitting, battle for around the field here. Looks like around Kelly Akron here, battling for Pete number 9 with Bruce Spencer. And then you have the battles up here with Tiffany Ellis fending off Matthew Hake, and then Dylan Emerson on that back, Cody Brewer on the back bumper of Dylan Emerson.
Now that we are halfway through the race here, and these drivers are hopefully now finally shaking off those concrete cobwebs, I think it's time we turn these engines up here and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here underneath the lights at Nashville Superspeedway. A few pit stops happening here as we're starting to wind this thing down. 25 laps to go. TJ Hanley relinquishing the lead, bringing her down to the pits. Bruce Spencer coming down, actually coming around the corner here, looking to maybe lead this lap. That's the 43, trying to get it done here. We're going 2 wide, 3 wide. You got the 91 coming around here. A lot of drivers kind of mixed up. You can see there's a lot of drivers a lap down. Currently only. Oh no!
Find a way to get around it as with the 42 sitting sideways. That was an absolute hammer.
I think the sound hit my soul. It was.
Wow.
It was.
I don't know how the 40. Oh, sorry, that was the 43.
There's the 42.
There, Bruce Spencer getting into the 42. I mean, I don't know how either of those cars are driving away from that thing.
I don't know. I felt this right. I mean, I felt that. Like,
yeah, that was
ugh.
very hard impact.
I don't know. Dang.
Well, that is certainly going to help out, I guess, only Ron Millam, because Bruce Spencer was one of the cars that had yet to come into the pits, but he's got a meatball now. And Ron Millam, the 91, letting the pace car by here. He'll be able to come in. He'll have the freshest tires in the field. We'll see if anybody else decides to come in, as it looks like, yeah. It'd be interesting. Nobody else is going to come in this time by, because I think everybody else is still lapped down.
It looks like O'Connor, Covington, and Hanley might be already on the lead lap, or they're working on their way around. I think O'Connor was the lucky dog. Yep, there's a lot of drivers gonna come in. They're gonna probably get new tires. I mean, 22 laps to go. You don't want to be the person with the oldest tires out there. So if I got tires, I'm coming in. Things have been busy around here tonight. We've had a few cautions. So we have something going on there with Dylan Jacobs here late. I'll go check to see what happened here with Dylan as we are under caution. Happened here into the 5.
Oh, I was just trying to check out for the 16, and it's got a little wiggle and around.
That's not what you want to do underneath the caution.
No, that was not ideal.
I think Tony the Tiger needs to be fired to put the Kool-Aid bane on. Maybe he might make it through the wall. Oh, tough break for number 5 there. That's just rough. Under caution. Trying to check up for somebody and get in the wall. Whoops.
As it stands right now, we are going to have TJ Handley at the front of this field. Ron Millam, Bruce Spencer, Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington for your top 5. Points leader Dylan Emerson in the pits. Looks like he's just coming out now, so he'll rejoin the field. He'll be in 6th place. Cody Brewer, Matthew Hake, Tiffany Ellis, Charlie Stafford for your top 10, as we'll double them up here. We'll get this thing ready to go. About 20 laps left in this race.
All them cars in front of TJ get to beat feet and make it around the track here and catch up to the back of the field. Plenty of time to do so. You know, they take off here and they can get, you know, they can go as fast as they want. They just obviously just don't want to wreck. And we've seen that happen too, believe it or not. You know, people getting wave around and wreck. So anything can happen here. It's you know, it's just kind of, you know, give and take. And if you're having a bad night, sometimes it's just what can you manage to put together to kind of like to slow down the bleeding, I guess, when it comes to mistakes. And if you're in a championship run, you know, this could be, you know, what can you do in a bad, or how do you react when you're having a bad race can also determine, you know, whether you can kind of pull out something and, you know, not go too far down, or, you know, keep the gain of your other competitors from catching you to a bare minimum. But again, Carl, I just want to give a shout out to the fans out there. Obviously, a little over 16 people watching right now. Pace car is in. TJ Hanley is going to lead him down here to start here with 20 laps to go this time by.
Time to go green here once again. TJ Handley back on the loud pedal. Looks like some shifting around back at the back of the pack, but everybody makes it away now. Again, can we make it to the backstretch? It's been the first time that we've had a restart in a while. Take a look back through the field here. 3 wide towards the back. Already the 17 sideways. Gonna do some maintenance again here, but gonna get it back up on the track. So Cody Handler almost brought out another caution here, but we're gonna get it back going here. Looks like everybody still nice and safe, gonna complete this lap. And now the race is on. You see it here, almost 4 wide on the front stretch, 3 wide, and at turn 1 as that got awfully close. 88 there, sliding up, getting very close to the back of the 6, getting close to the side of the 42. But somehow Tiffany makes it and escapes out of that, falls back a little bit, but out front, TJ Hanley leading the way, but now Thomas O'Connor, he wants his position back. He led a good majority of the beginning of this race. He's running the fastest laps of the race here so far. TJ Hanley running the fastest lap, but then it was bested right away by Thomas O'Connor, trying to run him down at the front. Ron Millam in 3rd, but Richard Covington now moves himself into 4th. He's trying to get back up there and get back in a 2nd as a 54. Gets awfully close to the 60, but good pass right there, as that is not for a position. Kent Bice just trying to get back up here and maybe get another lap back to get him closer to the lead lap, and I believe he's still down 4 laps here.
Down 4. Yeah, it's just been a rough race for some of these drivers here. I'll go ahead and take down the pit lap here, and just show you to kind of see where everybody's kind of gained and losses. So in green, obviously, there are the positions and how well they've progressed since the start. Red is, obviously them falling backwards. So see a bunch of drivers 7 laps down there. You got Stafford, Jacobs, and Emerson. So those drivers having a little tougher race than the rest, as Hanley, Covington, Hake, Brewer, all having pretty good races. Even Spencer back there, and P number 11 up a few spots. So mid-pack is always a great place to be. It's I don't know if it's a great place to be. It's the busiest place to be. I call it the battlefield, and that's usually where you find some of the great racing or challenging racing. With so many people around, but 15 laps to go. TJ Hanley is your leader.
Yeah, starting to click off here, and we had a nice little green flag run before this latest caution to get us to this point here as 15 to go, and really close battling all throughout the top 10 right now. A slim lead for TJ Hanley as Thomas O'Connor is on the move, only a couple tenths of a second behind in 2nd place. Ron Millam is holding on to 3rd place right now, but Richard Covington right there behind him as well, trying to move up back into 3rd position. Good battles all the way through the field, even 2 wide towards the back as well. But right now, it is all TJ Hanley at the front, trying to get these last laps done as quick as possible, as he got a nice little benefit from the caution coming out when it did. Able to come in there, get some fresh tires, as did some of the rest of the field. Good battle back here in the back half of the top 10. This is Cody Brewer on the inside of the 60. Actually, not even, that's not for our position. I didn't realize 60 was back there in 12th position. As the field is just kind of, it's all over the place. Because of the cautions, because of the the caution, this last caution coming out when it did, it's really throwing everything out of whack.
Yeah, you just gotta be close attention. You're coming up on somebody that might not even be for position. And if you're having trouble, that person behind you, just let him go. I mean, especially if he's not in for position, you're doing. You got a few more laps to go here. You got 12 laps remaining. Try to finish this thing out to the end strong here, and TJ Hanley trying to overcome that here again. Like I said, up 9 spots, and kind of work their way forward, from mid-pack to be up here up front. 18, Thomas O'Connor had the lead pretty much the whole time, but just obviously plenty of time here still. Not a whole lot of time, but enough time to catch that number 27 and possibly put that 18 back in the front.
Well, I mean, if you look at the season so far, it kind of makes sense if TJ Hanley would go on to the win, because he didn't win the first race, the second race, but he won the third race. And then next 2 races, he didn't win, but then he won Chicagoland. Well, now it's been 3 races, so he's due. He says he's due to keep this trend going, and looking to pick up his 3rd win on the season after winning at Homestead and Chicagoland. But he's going to have to fend off Thomas O'Connor, looking for his first win of the season. Same thing with Ron Millam and Richard Covington Jr. But we got another caution, and it looks like Matthew Hake may have been involved in this one, going off track. Kent Bice as well, as this has certainly not been the night for the 54.
54 having its fair share of just got loose.
Good move there by the 13, sneaking around on the outside.
Oh,
But then end up losing it as well, as he did a little tandem spin down the backstretch. And both Hake and Bice sideways on this one, going to bring out a late race caution. Under 10 laps to go. Will be about 5 laps to go when we get this thing green. So this will get very interesting here. I mean, certainly if you're one of the top drivers up here, you don't want to give up track position, but anywhere from like 5th on back, do we see our points leader Dylan Emerson take a chance and come down pit road?
yeah, I don't know, Carl. I mean, you got 11 cars on the lead lap right now. So, if I am one of those back drivers back there, 9th, 10th, 11th, I'm coming in. And you can see them coming down now. Hey, Jacob Spencer, get them new tires, and maybe you get an opportunity to, stick it in there and, get a couple hot laps in, and, the people won't be in the way and that car sticks. But like you said, we've said it takes about 3 to 4 laps for the tires really to warm up. So, I kind of hem and haw sometimes. I mean, obviously we know how strong new tires can be out there, but to have strong tires, with only a few laps to go, you gotta get them warm somewhere. So I'm not quite sure what to do. It's not like we can choose like sticker tires down there in the pits.
Yeah, they're not. It's not Formula One where they're kept under a heating blanket and they at least have a temperature in them before they put them on here. So it's up to the drivers to bring them in there quickly, but also safely. And it's really tough, especially when you're coming down the last few laps of the race. You don't want to wait. You don't want to have patience. You need to get going right away. But if you don't have patience, you're going to be going around instead of going around somebody else. TJ Hanley in the lead. Thomas O'Connor, though, is going to now line up alongside of him. Ron Millam, Richard Covington, Dylan Emerson for your top 5. Cody Brewer, Tiffany Ellis, Charlie Stafford, and Dylan Jacobs, Kyle Emerson for your top 10. But take a look and keep an eye on that 5 and 43, as they were the first 2 down pit road here in the back half now of the top 10. Can they make those new tires work for them? It looks like Dylan Jacobs maybe only taking 2 tires to get out there, and I believe Spencer took all 4 tires. But we're going to double these drivers back up. Still not 5 laps to go just yet. Looks like this time by when they get the green flag, it'll be 6 laps remaining here at Nashville.
They're about to fly through these, and hopefully they can keep it straight, wrap this thing up, get to that white flag, get this thing over with, and move on to next week. And especially if you've been one of those drivers having some few incidents down in the grass, maybe thinking about changing your paint scheme, a Cub Cadet or John Deere or a Craftsman. Any of them lawnmower companies out there are definitely looking for some sponsorship for cutting grass. But TJ Hanley getting ready to take it as the pace car's in.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no respite for the drivers as we head to Bristol next week as well. Green flag is out. We are back to racing. A little bobble, but it looks like Thomas O'Connor going to slide right down there into second place. TJ Hanley gets away nicely. But the question is, can they get the power down coming out of turn number 2? Top drivers will do so, but towards the back, Tiffany Ellis sideways down in the grass, but not going to bring out a caution. Going to get that thing back rolling and back up on the track. Caution stays away right now as Covington into the wall there out of turn number 4. But TJ Hanley, 5 laps to go in the lead. O'Connor running him down, though, only a quarter second between first and second. Looks like Ellis may have had another issue getting back going here, but we will stay green as you see the 5 of Jacobs. New tires already up to 7th place. But he's got a lot of cars he's got to pass if he wants to try and get a win, or at least a top 3. You see Tiffany Ellis down there on the bottom trying to stay out of the way of these drivers, doing battle real close right there as a 6 of Dylan Emerson just sneaks down below Cody Brewer. And that Brewer looking to maybe a little bump and run here. And indeed, the crossover for the 12 gets him back underneath and back up into 4th.
Getting close, tight move there by the 12. Got a little bit of action there on the 6. Now kind of push him out just a little bit to defend that. Ooh, the 5 bounces off the wall. Woohoo!
4 laps to go here. TJ Hanley still in the lead. Growing a little bit out to 0.3 of a second right now over Thomas O'Connor, but you see the battle right here as it is hot and heavy towards the back half of the top 5. Right now, the top 2 stretching out a bit, but we've got another caution here. Looks like Kelly Akron this time is going to bring this one out. And we're going to be in a green, white checker territory. See right there, just as soon as you get on the gas, back end steps out here a little bit, and unfortunately 43 not able to get on by, gets tagged a little bit as well. Looks like Spencer able to save it for the most part, but Akron going around through the grass.
Yeah, just obviously one of those things. This track always, when you get out there, it feels so fast and so pretty easy, I guess, and maybe just some drivers overconfident tonight, really driving the heck out of these cars, and it's really what's bringing them cars around to lose traction. Just kind of a little impatience, and obviously coming down to the end of the race doesn't help either. Everybody wants to win or finish the best they can, and a few drivers up here looking to finish the best they can is that number 27 TJ Hanley. Thomas O'Connor trying to get back to that number 1 spot from the beginning here tonight. Richard Covington up in 3rd. Cody Brewer's in 4th. Dylan Emerson's in 5th. And then you got Charlie Stafford, Dylan Jacobs, Ron Millam, Kyle Emerson, and Bruce Spencer for your top 10. Then it's back to Matthew Haig, Tiffany Ellis, Cody Handler, Kelly Akron, Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, and Alec Luano back there for your 17 drivers that participated here tonight.
Thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer, as we still got another doubleheader tomorrow night with the Virtual Velocity Racing heading to Kansas Speedway, and the Core GT Series also heading to VIR for their race tomorrow night. I believe, I just want to double check that. Yep, they are indeed at VIR as well, just like tonight. So we'll see what they have in store for that track in the middle of a field in Virginia. But we got to finish this one out first. This is green, white, checkered attempt 1 of 1. They only got 1 opportunity here tonight to get this thing done.
One shot.
It is going to be
1 opportunity.
One more restart here for TJ Hanley to get this thing done and get his 3rd win on the season. Can he do it? Can Thomas O'Connor get his 1st win on the season? Can Richard Covington do the same? Or is it going to be Cody Brewer to sneak up there and snatch a win? Base guard lights are out. This is it. We will see the green flag this time by. And then hopefully we'll see the white and the checkered. If not, the yellow flag will end the race. Don't want to see that happen for sure. But TJ Hanley, I think, will take it one way or another. I don't think he's going to complain either way. But
no. Just been an overall, obviously a pretty decent race. Probably a few less cautions wanted tonight, but I think some drivers just excited to just be out here and participating and try to take full advantage of this high speed, Colonel.
Well, I don't think drivers or even maybe some fans out there realize how tough it is on these concrete tracks with the tire, with the temperatures as cold as they are. The grip is not there, and these cars right here, the next gens, normally have a ton of grip. Normally it's hard to kind of get them that loose, but here tonight the throttle is not the friend for these drivers. But heading back to the restart zone, Great restart for TJ Hanley. Not so much for Thomas O'Connor, and he's going to be battling to try and just stay in second place as Richard Covington got a good enough jump. He's going to move into second, and now here comes a 12. Cody Brewer trying to get in there. The yellow flag is out. That is going to end the race here tonight. Not seeing who that was in the back. Maybe Anthony Emerson at the back of this field, but that is going to hand the win to TJ Hanley here tonight. Third win on the season. Richard Covington, Thomas O'Connor will be your top three.
Get back there just to kind of let this go by here. It does look like everybody's kind of slowing down a little bit. Obviously not full speed, and the 27 is going to cross the line here and take that, get picked up by the Iracing car.
Yeah, the Iracing car will come out here, but the white flag is out, and they're going to get the checkered flag this time by to finish this race. And little bump there from the 18. Maybe a little congratulations. And I was gonna say, you don't want to go. Got to cross the line, make it official first. And there it is indeed. So TJ Hanley going to get the win here tonight. 21 of Richard Covington Jr. going to come home in second. Thomas O'Connor, Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson for the top five. Charlie Stafford, Dylan Jacobs, Ron Mellum, Kyle Emerson, and Bruce Spencer for your top 10. Tiffany Ellis, Matthew Hake, Cody Handler, Kelly Akron, Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, and Alec Luno rounding out your 17-car field here for tonight. We'll get our top three here in a moment to get their interviews done as TJ Hanley starting to burn it down here in turn one.
Okay, she had no problem burning up the tires this time. I'm going to do a backwards lap. And literally backwards, not the Polish.
Is this Polish?
This is the Polish lap.
Yeah.
I am not rewinding the video, folks. As we get to see the right side of the car, plain and simple, from the inside in the infield. But yeah, congratulations to the winners here tonight. TJ Hanley getting it done, coming away as the winner. And then I have to see where the heck my mouse go. Sorry for the HUD there, fellas. Sometimes the mouse just gets lost. Or screens, it just kind of disappears sometimes. We'll bring up the results here. There is the race. Your race winner being TJ Hanley. Richard Covington Jr. being in P number 2. Thomas O'Connor will finish in third. Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, Charlie Stafford, Dylan Jacobs, Ron Millum, Kyle Emerson, Bruce Spencer, Tiffany for your top 10, and Tiffany Ellis, Matthew Hake, Cody Handler, Kelly Akron, Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, Alec Luano, and then William O'Connor. Come join us next race, William. But give him credit out there as he was able to take the field probably for some practice for a little bit.
Get our top three up here in a moment. Just looking for our third place finisher of Thomas O'Connor, and it looks like he is in there now. So we'll knock out our top three interviews here tonight, and we'll get them in here in a second if my mouse decides to work. There we go. All right, so third place here tonight, Jimmy, is gonna be the 18 of Thomas O'Connor.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good there, Thomas. It's good to hear you up here in the booth. Obviously, you got on the pole here tonight, and you pretty much led this whole thing, but you had to come in and take that fuel underneath those green flag time frame, and put you back just a little bit. So give us a little rundown of your race. I mean, you came back for a pretty decent finish, but it was looking pretty harsh there once you had to come into pit there under green.
Yeah, big time. You know, I'll be honest that we got really lucky. Me and my teammate Richard, I got to shout him out. He got second place. Very proud of him. You know, there were just so many cautions in the beginning. I thought, okay, we can just keep going. Richard's just blowing up my headset trying to, hey, let's go pit. And I thought, okay, let's just keep going. But then, it finally got down to like 10 laps to go. And what do you know? They freaking start, now we want to start green flag runs. So then we had to pit with about 3 laps left of fuel. But I kind of had a feeling. I was like, okay, I start seeing all these drivers start clicking away. I'm like, okay, we're gonna come out on this on the right end, and luckily we did. Right as that last caution came out for while everyone was doing pit stops, I was like, all right, we're getting tires right now. We're gonna be in a good shape. But man, these next gen cars, I could not get past TJ. He held his line amazingly, and it just, I couldn't get there. But a solid finish. I'm proud of my team. Me and Richard, we did a good job, and just proud of the league.
Yeah, it's always good to, obviously you see some team or league mates maybe struggling a little bit. Obviously, that concrete surface is a little more tricky than I think some may think it might be. But obviously you got that 18. You finally got taking a challenging situation and making it a positive one here tonight, and then coming home in a 3rd place. So, from everybody up here in the booth, all the fans out there watching, we want to say congratulations on your 3rd place finish and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 18.
Yeah, this 18 Cocoa Farm Chevrolet was fast. I'm very proud of the amount of practice that we got. We're really starting to get that going, and I want to thank my family. My brother gave me a lot of mean words because I didn't shout him out the last time at Talladega, so I want to shout him out. But again, I want to thank everybody that watches us. Core Network, Racing Network, you guys are amazing. I'm glad that we're still getting this going in this league. I'm very proud that everyone is dedicated to this league, and I can't thank them enough. So, and thank you guys. You guys are what makes this broadcast worth it, and all those fans out there, from all of your leagues. So thank you guys.
I really appreciate the shout out, Senator Thomas, and it's good to see you up here in the booth. So hopefully we'll catch you up here next week. But again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Great. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. 2nd place is going to be going to the man known as Doughboy, Richard Covington Jr., coming home in 2nd in the 21. And you had a heck of a run for majority of the race. You're running up there 2nd place to Thomas O'Connor for a majority of it. And then all of a sudden, the cautions didn't come out, and you guys had to come into the pits, and it kind of really shook some things up. You find your way back up there with a chance to win at the end, but again, some more cautions kind of not playing in the right way, at least. Well, maybe the right way to get you in 2nd, but do you feel like a little bit more green flag out there, and you would have had a chance at this thing?
Be honest with you, I'm not sure. TJ had a fast car, and Thomas, he was fast too, and 21 just didn't have it to catch that 27, but I was throwing it in corners any way I could just to get in there and get a chance.
Well, you threw it in there on the final restart, and you made it stick, and it was a big restart for you. You could have came home in 3rd, but you ended up finishing up here in 2nd. So, I mean, these kind of races here are almost just all about survival, and you were able to survive that thing, keep that 21 clean for the most part, and got yourself a chance to get up there on the podium and finish 2nd here tonight.
Yeah, tried to knock the wall out of turn 4, and
a couple times. Yep, I did see that.
Yeah, I was trying to be like Matthew, but I ain't as good as he is at it. And like I said, it's just trying to keep the car clean and stay out of wrecks. But yeah, Thomas was a big help with getting us back up there, and most of it was hopes and prayers.
Well, they were answered. At least they get you up here onto the podium, get you in 2nd here tonight. So congrats on your finish. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
First off, the team that Thomas runs, I want to give a shout out to him. He kept us alive all night, and mom and dad, they're watching. And really the whole DoCal team, we haven't really been that good, and I guess tonight just gave us a little bit of advantage to show we really got something that can run with them.
Well, that you did, and you get yourself up here almost with a chance at the win here at the end with the top two is definitely nothing to scoff at. So congrats on the finish again. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. See y'all.
That is driver of the 21, Richard Doughboy Covington Jr., as he had a good restart at the end, and that's exactly what you need, especially on these caution-filled races. You got to get a good restart, and the one that controlled those restarts at the end comes home in first. That is going to be the 27 of TJ Hanley.
TJ, hey, buddy. Hey, it's good to have you back
Finally.
up here. Hey, right? I mean, this is not your first win of the season. I see. I'm looking back, and this will be your third win of the season here at Nashville, and things started off a little shaky, but the 27 comes back around when it's needed to, and you find yourself out front, lead this thing, get yourself a great start there at the end, and in the midst of all them cautions, you walk away the winner here tonight. So kind of give us a rundown on how everything was, as this place can be a little tricky at times.
Absolutely, and it is a eater of tires. Very similar to like Dover, if I had to compare it, or old Atlanta. You'll just eat and chew up your tires if you're not careful about it. Decent qualifying effort. I'm not used to downshifting here, so I just come racing. I decided, I'm just gonna keep it in fifth gear all night and let these guys wear out their tires. Had an issue where there was a delay on my gas pedal, so I was barely touching it, and it wasn't registering until it was an inch in. So I was like, all right, well, I'll reset that. Well, when I reset it, I did a donut on pit road, and then I go out and I realized, oh shit, apologies for the cussing. Oh crap, I don't have any brakes, so went 3 laps down. I was very fortunate with it. At the same time, I don't think those wrecks should have happened. But I mean, it's a beginner's league. It's so that people can learn. So it is what it is. Can't complain about that. From once I was back on the lead lap, it was just stay out as long as possible. It just had a gut feeling like we'd get a yellow that might benefit me. Luckily, one did while I was on pit road. Never went a lap down. Got in the lead, stayed in fifth gear, got a good start. And then just save tire. I debated that second to last caution with 10-ish to go. I debated coming in to get right sides tire. I was thinking about Charlotte a lot. Thinking about, and even Chicagoland, I was really thinking about, man, if they go down, they take 4, I might be screwed here. So I faked it. Stayed on tracks. You know what? I've got 2 wins. I'm here for trophies, nothing more. Surprised me that more of them stayed out. I figured, whatever the leader does, everybody would do the exact opposite. So it kind of shocked me. Thomas, 100% was the fastest guy. I think on that second last restart, I threw down the fastest lap, and he was right there with me. He was doing everything he could to get me, and mad respect to everybody. As far as I could tell, once we got Green Flag Racing, everybody was very keen on keeping it clean. I think we just had some bad luck with not able to handle that downshift whenever they come on corner exit. It's revving too much, and they're having trouble sticking it on their rear tires. I think that's all that mostly was. That and just people going into the corners way too shallow. They're going up the track. I'm sure if I look at the replay, I'm sure that happened a lot tonight. But overall, that was pretty fun. I'm glad I got the wine color on tonight. A different, somewhere between a purple and a regal red. Also turns out Texas has become kind of a wine state as well. So slowly doing that over in the Hill Country, Fredericksburg area. So I was kind of glad to run that color tonight, even though I don't drink. It's a very nice color. I like it. Probably need to run denim. And then other than that, man, thank you to everybody for racing tonight, letting me race tonight. And I hope we put on a show for you guys, Carl and Jimmy. I really do. I hope we put on a show and you all had a good time watching.
Yeah, we always have a good time watching down here in the booth, and you're wrapping up trying to get out of here before I let you go. But the 27, you made you had your opportunities tonight to probably to have a worse finish, but sometimes it's overcoming those hurdles during a race. Whether it's the gas pedal going out on you or the brakes not working for you. I mean, you had a mountain of things going on, and it does, it's great to be the fast car, but sometimes a little bit of luck could go a long way too. Beginners leagues are always fun. It's fun to kind of see, how newer drivers, make the mistakes and how they handle them the following weeks, and it's a ton of fun watching a lot of people just kind of grow week in and week out, just over and over again. And it's a pleasure for me and Carl to be here with the league here tonight, and just to continue to cover here to the end of the season. So you guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure whoever's learning is learning. It does take lots of time, lots of repetition to get out there and get these things down pat. But to me, when I was thinking with all the incidents and stuff, I didn't know that you guys were downshifting and maybe having issues handling that throttle. But I thought it was maybe just the coolness of the temperature. That it was a cold night out. The track was only at 70 degrees. Typically, you want your tires to warm up a little bit, and with it being so cold, it was right around that 3-4 laps when everybody really started to get the handle of the car. So that's what went in the back of my mind, what it was. So whether it was or not, I don't know. I'm just trying to take an educated guess from being able to be out here and have some time behind the wheel of these cars just a little bit. But you guys look good, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And I know you said a bunch, but we'll give you just a small opportunity there. If you missed anybody for any shouts you might have in that 27-4, let you out of here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to all the TH Design drivers. The TH Design cars last week at Charlotte, I can't thank them enough. I know Tiffinator was one of them. The 60 was one. The 5 was scheduled. Man, I'm always grateful for anyone who wants to run my designs. Shout out to Ryan Sizemore, got second place in Kentucky BMX Racing over the weekend, state finals. Probably going to go up to a more higher level coming up on the next season, and can't help wish him the best of luck. As well as Braden Laster, 06 in ARCA. He got his career best finish out at the dirt track at the State Fairgrounds. Oh man, yeah. Good night. Start of a good weekend for me, and yeah, I can't wait to do some more racing this week. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, great day to finish up the end of hump day and start the rest of the week and really work your way to the weekend. So again, congratulations on the win here at the Nashville Superspeedway, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 27 of TJ Hanley, getting it done, getting in the right spot at the right time when those cautions fell, and then he got the control of the race on those restarts, and that did exactly what he needed to get the win here tonight. It was Nashville kind of being Nashville. It was the concrete. I mean, I know Dover has the Miles the Monster, but I think there may be a monster here that maybe biting these drivers.
Concrete monsters, man.
It is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart, but we got it done here. We head to Bristol next week, so the concrete is not done. We go from the concrete tri-oval to the concrete oval of Bristol, and we'll see what the drivers can handle out there. But that's going to do it for us here for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. Myself and Jimmy here at the Nashville Speedway. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.